Hi folks, so today's video is going to be on the Highland Clearances. In history, customs, cultures and traditions change as time passes on, but sometimes this change can be brought about with force from outside, rather than evolution from within. One such example of this is how Gaelic culture was forced out of much of the Scottish Highlands during the process known as the Highland Clearances. The Highland Clearances takes an interesting place in British history. They're not a singular occurrence, but rather a historical movement that changed the Highlands forever. Farmers from the Highlands and Islands, along with clansmen, were driven from their small holdings of land known as crofts, that they rented from the landlords or lairds, and they were replaced with sheep. Whether it was motivated by hatred of the Gaelic crofters or solely by profit, it depends on which lens you view history. Some historians would say it was solely by profit and that the lairds were just acting in the best interests at the time. But if this is the case, then why did the lairds just let the Highlanders starve? In a lot of cases, a lot of Highlanders died because they couldn't find employment, they couldn't find opportunities elsewhere. And this is why a lot of the other Highlanders that managed to get to ships would flee for America, Canada, and even Australia. Now, the scary thing about this is, even the Lowland Scots would view the Highlanders as different. They weren't viewed in the same way as they would view their neighbours in another part of the Lowlands. They were viewed as less than human in a sense, because they were seen as more barbaric. Most people know or have heard of the Battle of Culloden. And if you know anything about that battle, you'll know that Bonnie Prince Charlie, who led the Jacobites, lost the battle, and he fled to France. But what you probably don't know is that after the battle, the British actually, not just English, but Scottish as well, actually went on a campaign across the Highlands, committing horrible atrocities in the local population. They were hunting for Jacobites, but it wasn't just the Jacobites that were suffering. The local population, their crofts were burnt, and their people were treated barbarically by the soldiers at the time. Not only did the atrocities happen, but there was laws put in place after that would mean that wearing of the kilt, even speaking Gaelic or playing the bagpipes, could land you in jail or even sent on a prison ship to a prison colony like Australia. A lot of people in America and Canada can actually trace their ancestors back to the Highlanders, because the Highlanders, after the clearances, a lot of them left because of the treatment that they had endured. Now, one of the sad things about this was that Gaelic as a language would go into decline in the Highlands, and it's only today still spoken by a few small, isolated pockets. Unfortunately, the clearances aren't really talked about today in our society. I think one of the saddest parts is people go to the Highlands to see the beautiful scenery, but they don't think about the people that once lived there. The crofters and the clansmen and the people who had been living there, that was their land for generations, and today it's just barren, and it's never recovered from the horrible atrocities committed. And I think that's something that historians and people in the future, we need to keep that alive. We need to tell their story. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope everyone has a great day.